Okay, I'm going to try this one again. And I'm actually not trying to drive everyone crazy with these uploads and then change the video, redo them type thing. This sort of phenomena happens a lot in the forums. They refer to it as TND, or type and delete. It's yeah, lack of confidence about what the original statement was, so you get rid of it and redo it. Also, everybody's different. I have like this really weird way of handling the extreme part of my avoidance when it reaches the apex, which is that I actually do in real life kind of sort of continue. I'll send these stupid messages. It'll be like, I really wish I could talk to you right now, but I still can't. I'm sorry. And it's like, okay, Miss Crazy Pants, you're talking to me now. Hello. But I don't want people to worry. And I did, every once in a while come up with ideas that I can't believe I haven't talked about before. Like, finally, in a minute and a half in, maladaptive daydreaming. And what is that? Well, what it is daydreaming that is excessive and is used as a coping skill to avoid some stressor in your life, but then goes completely over the top. And the thing is, it is an effective coping skill sometimes, but it's also a crutch from dealing with real life, because you can depend on the daydreams in place of real life. It also, the other thing that makes it specifically maladaptive is the amount of time that you might be spending on the daydreaming. Anything that's like an hour plus a day, maybe like getting close to an hour a day, that would be maladaptive. And I'm sitting there going, wait, but like half my waking hours I have some kind of daydream going in my head. I guess that's maladaptive. I mean, it's so common for me. Now, there's definitely a difference between like daydreaming and having paranoid episode, and you should try to really keep track of that, because again, it would be a different thing if you are being paranoid about something and you're daydreaming about how people are coming to get you and that sort of thing. To be a coping technique, as even a maladaptive coping technique, to a degree, usually they're positive daydreams. And my personal theory, now this is another thing, is that I had somebody say, well, I want the proof of what you're saying, because that doesn't match what I have. I am talking about my own experience and sort of a consensus of the experience of other people I know that have actually definitely been diagnosed with avoidant personality disorder. And it's influenced by the reason why I make these videos is because I know what I was dealing with in the beginning, and I just believe people. And you would have people that say, I have avoidant personality disorder, and they absolutely definitely do not. And now you can sort of get a feeling about somebody when they interact. Really, you can tell pretty much right off the bat whether or not somebody actually has at least traits of avoidant personality disorder. It's just a feeling when you've seen enough of it, where you can. Am I repeating myself? you can basically get it. Like Cantor. Why I think Cantor is not really the expert he claims to be is because it just doesn't make sense in my gut. Okay, maladaptive daydreaming, again, separate from being paranoid, is, and I mean, it was really hard for me to get that maladaptive part. Like, what? Until again, it was that I realized I was using it in place of actually interacting with people, and was allowing me to feed and continue my avoidant personality disorder and my avoidant tendencies, which are two separate things. Because, okay, I don't have people in my life, but I can daydream things in my life. And so now it's going to get real personal, and I'm going to delete this message. Because I don't know why, but I thought it might be helpful to talk about what kind of a maladaptive daydream that I have, and sort of why. And what I've been having lately, continuously, over and over, and again, this is the maladaptive part also, is the repetition. I basically have the same daydream over and over and over and over and over. And it's that I'm in this house that is pretty different from the one I live in now, but I can control everything in it. I can control the people that come there in this weird daydream. I mean, it's like a perfect scenario. I have like a house guest in this house that every once in a while I'll see this person, but basically, on vacation, doesn't have anything to do with me. But if I needed something, I could, there's a person there who's sort of supportive and respectful of my lifestyle, in like close. That sounds perfect to me. I mean, this house, I could tell you everything about it. I could like make a model of it, scale model of every, in every part of it. I mean, I know the art on the walls, and I know the dishes in the cupboards. I know everything about this place in and out. And again, that's a control thing, because right now, what's going on in my life, so much of it is out of my control. It's not even funny. And the things that I supposedly have control over, I really don't. And I've been getting a lot of situations where I'm supposed to make a choice, but really, truly, both choices are really, really bad. And as soon as I make a choice, it's like, there goes that boulder down the hill. Now I got to do the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing. It's going to smash this, and I have to take care of that. And it's never ending. And that I got yelled at today that I'm supposed to do self-care. And I'm supposed to sleep. I'm supposed to sleep, but I can't take sleeping pills, because if I take a sleeping pill, which is prescribed by the doctor, by the way, that means I'm being selfish and manipulative, because then I'm not available 24 hours a day because I'm asleep. Because anyway, it's a long story. It's really stupid. The absolute crazy sort of narratives I'm getting from people who are not really thinking straight. I mean, again, I can't control anything. I mean, everything I try to control just blows up in my face. And so many people that think that they're going to make the decisions, and they don't make decisions at all, but insist that they've made decisions. I mean, I sat in a meeting today for an hour where it literally looped back around to where it began, and they said, okay, good, we've talked about this, that's it. I'm like, make a damn decision. This is not happening in my life. So I have these maladaptive fantasy daydreams, seriously, constantly. Now, when I say it's half my waking hours, I'm dead serious. I am a high level media person. That's not a brag. I mean, that's actually really pathetic. Where I will like have something going on the computer and be reading a book and watching TV all at the same time, and I do that all the time. I don't do that like all the time, but I do that every single day. I'm doing something where I'm doing multitasking of multiple streams of information, and usually also in the back of my head is going some variation of this fantasy. And I think the reason that I've got this one is because I can control it. I know I got stuck in the hair. Anyway, but also I think, and I think this is huge and key to people with avoidant personality disorder, is I think I am practicing conversations, because in addition to this house guest person that's just around, I also keep having conversations with and a friend that, you know, they're supposed to be light conversations in these, but I'm taking them very, very personally and not being effective in the conversation, and just like blowing up over and over and over and over again in these fantasies. Again, maladaptive, because it starts nice and then, just like your average horror movie, turns really twisted and wrong in the end. And again, this is how mine work, and it does change. And like I said, right now, I mean, I think I've got a pretty good bead on it. It's because I don't have control, and because my communication skills lately absolutely suck, and because I don't have these type of people in my life right now. And cat. And I really could use them, but they're just not there. So, and I hate saying that I could use them, but seriously, you know, it's not like using a person. Cat, knock it off. It's like, you know, I think that my life would be better if I could have these people. So I'm practicing these conversations, trying to have the conversation with myself so that I can sort of get a contact hit off of them. I mean, it's not the same as actually having somebody be kind to you. If you're having a conversation in your head where that person is being kind to you, but a little bit, tiny bit. So that's how it works for me, especially right now. Right now, incredibly repetitive. You know, sometimes it'll be those same people, but in a different location, or a different part of the house, or the conversation is slightly less something that would cause me to react. Or, you know, I mean, but it's basically the same thing over and over and over again. And I'm trying to create a relationship with these fake people in my head. Is what I'm doing. Because I don't have the relationships in my real life, and trying to force control over something that you know, my life is chaos right now. Chaos and crisis. That's the only thing I was told today. Your life is chaos and crisis. Thanks. So, what to do about them? Be aware of them and see if they're positive or negative influences in your life. Because the problem is that you can get sucked down the rabbit hole with these things and be thinking of this fantasy in your head forever, and really truly push out the whole rest of your life and not do anything else but sort of focus on this. You can lose track of time sitting and having these daydreams. You can be caught by other people watching you have these daydreams. Excuse me. And that could be embarrassing, to say the least. So there are some pretty bad parts to having these daydreams, but they are effective. as far as helping you cope. And so you've got to navigate it, mitigate it, and just watch out for if it's a helpful thing or if it's hurting you, and when it starts to hurt you, rein it in.